Meantime, key voter groups are souring on the Biden White House, but the administration, instead of selling their own accomplishments, is heading into 2024 with its sights set on one campaign strategy. This is Talk More About Trump. James Freeman, assistant editor for the Wall Street Journal and Fox News contributor. This is the quote from a CNN report that some of the younger aides on Biden's reelection campaign have been grimly joking about when to go full Hitler, when the leading Republican candidates' speeches and actions go so far that the Biden team goes all the way to a direct comparison to the Nazi leader. Haven't they already done that?
Yeah, and so their friends on MSNBC have gone even further.
Yeah.
Claire McCaskill, former Democratic senator, saying that Trump is more dangerous than Hitler. I mean, just absurd, obscene, really, these kind of comparisons. But this is... Every signal from the White House is this is what we're going to get. This is going to be a nasty, negative, ugly campaign presenting Mr. Biden's opponent as an enemy of this country. And it's going to be poisonous and hard to watch. And obviously, you've seen the polling. People have had enough of it and had enough of the president. And I think that's why he's going with this strategy.
Rest up when you can, James.
Yes.
Charlamagne the God made some major headlines 4 years ago. And now he's saying this about VP Harris. I've learned my lesson from doing that. Once they got in the White House, kind of disappeared. When I give people my word like, yo, man, I think we should be supporting Kamala Harris for vice president because she's going to hold it down. When we say those things and people don't see her holding it down, that causes issues. I take your pick. It could be the border, could be immigration, could be root causes.
Voting rights. I mean, I think that's what he's talking about, too.
Inflation, which has really hit real incomes everywhere. So I think sometimes I think celebrity endorsements can get overrated, but I think what's really interesting about his comments is he's talking about feedback he's getting from his audience. And it's obvious that a lot of people are, from what he's telling us, a lot of people are saying, why did you endorse them? And I think that tells you there are a lot of, his audience skews younger. So a lot of younger voters, we've seen that in the Fox poll, we've seen that in other places, are really soured on the president.
Speak of the devil.
Yeah, the USA Today poll showed that Biden's support amongst blacks and Hispanics are way down. Right now, 63% support. In 2020, it was 87% support amongst black voters. Hispanic voters, 65% in 2020, today 34%. Karl Rove showed us yesterday just the margins that President Trump or whoever the Republican nominee will be would need from blacks, Hispanics, and younger people in Georgia, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, all of those swing states that Bill is going to be watching and telling everybody about on election night. You only need a little bit. And if you're at the White House right now, you have to look at something. How do you turn it around? Because it's not like it was Greg Gutfeld saying that about Kamala Harris. It was Charlamagne the God.
Yeah.
And no one's going to be calling him a sexist or a racist.
And wouldn't it be nice if the president's response was, okay, here's what I'm doing, and here's my agenda, and here's why life is going to be better, and here's why inflation is really going to die this year, and something positive. Instead, what we're seeing, and they're kind of telegraphing this for the first few Biden speeches, is it's going to be basically accusing Republicans of being white supremacists. This is some of the really disgraceful rhetoric of his presidency that he looks to reprise here, where suggesting that voting laws are a sort of a new Jim Crow. You know, I think that's kind of what they're foreshadowing for this upcoming set of speeches.
Biden's going to talk about the U.S. Capitol attack in Philadelphia. That's later in the week, and Kamala Harris is going to go on a national tour in Wisconsin to talk about abortion rights. Just real quickly on this. When Biden got back to the White House last night, he said, we got to do something on the border. They ought to give me the money I need to protect the border. I don't know about this money part, but that first phrase, we got to do something. Is something changing?
You wonder, could there be a better moment for him? Obviously, the polling says people are fed up. This is a problem. He's in the Fox poll, I think he's even worse on this than on the economy. He's got an opportunity here. He's not worried anymore about challenges from his left in the presidential nominating contest. He's basically keeping his opponents off the ballot in Florida and North Carolina. So he really is in general election mode now. And why not do a deal with Republicans? Big enforcement, more legal pathways. If he was really smart, he would say, we'll build the wall that Trump wanted. In return, you give me all these policy changes. I'll bet he'd get a lot of them.
It'd be a major shift.
And also just leave the razor wire up. I don't understand. Like, take the win.
Take the win.
Thank you,
Thank you.
James.
Thanks.
Happy New Year to you.
You too. Appreciate it.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.